everyone to episode 36 and our second week of Advent. And today we are going to share with you some last minute gifts for the women in your life who think they have everything, and even if they do, they're going to love these.
And you don't have to make it.
All right, so grab something warm to drink in your favorite project and yarn over with us.
Justin, you have just saved my day.
Hello there, I'm Susie and I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, and we are so glad that you have joined us again on Yarn Over with Us. We feel a little crazy right now because we have had some really bad technical stuff, and we
Well, and
sure
I
hope
hear
this
house fire.
a house fire. We feel.
Yeah, we have to
I'm
share for this.
sorry. Um, but anyway, we're glad you're here today, and we're trying to be really excited about what we're doing, but we're not really even sure if it's going to work. So, um, grab something to drink, and I hope you've got your yarn and needles, and you certainly are going to be entertained today.
And my name is Linda, and I live in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And yes, we've had a wild morning and, well, afternoon already. And but before we get started on all the fun stuff, I want to remind everybody that number one, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us personally by our names, and also by Yarn Over with Us. And secondly, for all of you who have joined our email list, I still see that there's a lot of people who have not opened our latest email. So if you have signed up and did not get our save the date invitation yesterday, it's sitting somewhere and probably in some suspicious folder called, well, junk or spam. They think we're spam. So what you need to do for us is go in there and find that email. It says save the date, and of course read it. Save the date if you want to be part of our Zoom, and then um, add connect at yarnoverwithus.com as your contact. And then we will not be considered spam because, well, we're one of your legitimate contacts. So, anyway, we did send out something as a little test yesterday, and we're going to send out the Zoom number Friday. Is that Friday? We're going to do
Friday,
Friday?
yeah,
Okay.
we'll send out.
So,
It'll
anyway,
be your link to get in.
yeah. So, yes. So, before we got started here, we had technical difficulties, and Susie is now on her iPad. Is that what you're on?
I'm on my iPad. I hope it
We've
works.
been spitballing it. We've tried all the things. I'm actually on a brand new computer, which I believe is working. And I had a Windows 10 computer that could no longer be updated. Technology is like dog years, so every year is about 7 years old. And though I had this amazing gaming computer that my son so lovingly let me use, it it could no longer be updated after October. So that's why we had fuzzy videos last time and all these issues. But while I was waiting for Susie to get her act together, um, to get all her
Oh,
technology going, I thought I'm going to take a moment and call my husband and tell him about my situation here. And the situation was I smelled something burning in the house like all morning. And I have a really good, here's the thing, I have really good nose and I have excellent ears. The eyes, yeah, not so much. So anyway, I cleaned the wood stove this morning because we're supposed to like get some snow apparently. And now you guys, no shaming. I already feel stupid enough, okay? But I put it in a paper sack. It was 3 days old. We haven't had a fire in 3 days. And when I took it out, there were no red coals, nothing was going on. I put the sack by the back door, and that was that. And I carried the little sack over there. I know, I already feel so stupid. Just don't, I was busy. But anyway, and I'm smelling this weird smell, and it's right kind of where the return vent is. And at first, it smelled like
Uh-uh.
burning, kind of like somebody's having maybe like old ashes. And then it started to smell like burning wires. And I'm thinking, well, that's weird. So I'm running around, I'm poking my head down in the basement where the furnace is, and I'm doing, going all the places. And I thought, oh, this sack, I felt it, and it was hardly even warm. I thought, oh, I'm going to get this out of the house. And I lifted the trash can, a bunch of water went in there, and I said, perfect. And I put there's like this much ashes. And I put it in the garbage can. So I'm walking around and I'm still smelling this smell, but it's getting less. I'm smelling this smell. And I thought I'm going to call my husband because he's coming home and he can, look around. So I did, and I said, go if you might want to go outside and look at the furnace and this and that. And he said, well, go and check the. We have these little switches to. The switch goes into the wall, and then the plug, so I can just switch on like my twinkle lights to my many Christmas trees. He said, make sure none of them are warm. And so I did, and they were all cool. And I said, I don't remember what happened next, to be real honest, but I thought, I got to go check the garbage can. And I opened the can, and smoke was billowing out of the garbage can.
Oh
And
no.
so
Oh
our trash was on fire. Well, it
no.
wasn't on
Oh
fire. There were no
no.
flames. It was smoking because it was
Smoking.
wet and there was water, but it still was smoking. And he's like, pull it away. I'm on the phone with him. He's like, pull it away from the house. Of course I did. And I said, I got to go. I said, I'm going to put water on it, which I did. And anyway, and I took the sack had burned through. And so, yeah, no harm, except now I smell like I burned trash because I did. That all happened this morning right before we talked with you guys. So, wow, here we are.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, he's never going to let me live this down. I just know it. But
Ooh.
anyway, oh
Well,
my
I'm glad
goodness.
everything is safe and well
Oh
now.
yeah, everything's fine. And I pulled the garbage can out into the gravel. I mean, it's not even it's not smoking anymore. And but I left it there just so he could see it because he'll be highly entertained. And he said, "Living with you is like living with I Love Lucy." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't need to
Oh,
hear it." Anyway, so yeah, the stove works very well apparently because for almost 4 days, you know, still had something warm enough to burn
wow.
paper.
That's
You know what
really
though? And that's so unfair because when I try to start a fire, it's so stinking hard. you know? But
uh,
but when you don't want a fire, it just goes. So anyway. Oh Lord have mercy. How's your week been?
it's been good. Um, I worked a lot of hours last week, and on top of that, I've got our little 2-year-old granddaughter here. She's been here since Thanksgiving when her parents left, and so I'll be getting her back on Friday. And so, just real busy, just busy. We had a church event last night. My husband has had an abscess tooth. I mean, we're just living life, just, lot going on, but a good week. I'm thankful that I've had an Advent to knit on because it has caused my heart rate to go down and my anxiety to be less.
I know I was
I've
thinking
not been
about you
able
on
to enjoy
Sunday.
I've not been able to enjoy my Advent season like I dreamed of enjoying it, but I've enjoyed it. So it's just been a
Yeah.
really busy week.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking
this
about you
time of
on
the year it
Sunday.
always is.
Yeah, I was thinking, how can he preach with an abscess tooth? Because it's a little more painful than a bad tooth, in
Yeah,
my
he
opinion.
didn't. He had to stay home, and he went this morning, and they actually did an emergency root canal, which um, hopefully that's going to take care of the
Mm.
situation. So anyway,
Oh, well,
it's
that's
it's been
good.
so that's what I've been up to. It's not real
Oh,
exciting
man.
stuff, but it's living life. But
Yes.
yeah.
One thing before we move on, I didn't mention, we were talking about the email and the Zoom, and if you're new to us and want to be part of our Zoom, um, you can go to yarnoverwithus.com and sign up for our emails, and you will get the email about it. It is Saturday, December 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to be part of that, go ahead and sign up and then do all the things I said earlier so that you get our emails. So, anyway, this is
Yeah.
why I have notes because we forget things, but we're a little fried, almost literally. So, want to talk about our advents or do you want to talk about gifts first?
Um, I think we were going to talk about gifts first. Is that what we talked
Okay.
about?
Well, let's talk about gifts. So, what made us think about this is, I get requests from my kids, even my husband, what do you want for Christmas? And I always say, I don't need anything. But the thing we have to realize is gift giving isn't about what we need. It's about they want to show you love and they
Yeah.
want to give you a gift. And so, ironically, on Saturday, we did our annual baking of cookies and I started thinking of all kinds of little things that I could use. And so I thought I'm going to make a list. And even if the lady in your life already has these things, I don't think she'll mind doubles. So there you
Yeah.
go. So why don't you go first, Susie? You got one? We'll go
I
back and forth.
do. I do.
What you got?
For years, I had been using erasable pens with
Mm,
my uh, calendar at work and appointments shifting and changing. Pencil
yes.
was not what I enjoyed doing. So years ago, I found erasable pens and I just ordered some new ones. And these are the ones that I've ordered. And they are just wonderful pens. They're great for anything that you have to write in ink,
I
and
love
then
them.
there's a reason that you have to erase. And I actually ordered these on Amazon. And
Well, we'll
the
put the
other,
links for everything up.
yeah.
Yeah, in our
So
description. But I love those.
this is a wonderful gift to
See,
put
I
in a
could
gift
use those.
basket or
Yeah.
anything. So erasable pens are just wonderful. I love using them, and that's a great last minute gift if you're looking for, especially for a friend that knits, because uh, I use these all the
Yes.
time. Wonderful
Yes.
gift.
On the paper patterns. I love that.
Yeah,
And to piggyback off that, I'm going to put, because I actually forgot to bring them up, they're in my Bible study bag, but I'll put a picture up. I love these transparent colored post its. They're
yeah,
great for putting in your Bibles because I told one of the girls at study, I said, sometimes you just want to take notes, but you don't really want to write in your Bible because you're not really
yeah.
sure if you want to keep those notes in there. But for today, this is a note that you are thinking. So I
Right.
love these, and they're
Mm.
really great. And they come in all different colors. You do pastels or whatever. So that's another nice thing. These are all like little things maybe people wouldn't think of buying for themselves, you know.
Hmm.
And again, even if they do, they don't mind more. Okay.
Exactly. Can't get enough pens.
No, you can't. You can't. What else you got?
Well, if you have a tea drinker friend, this time of the year, this is my favorite Christmas tea, and it's backwards there, but anyway,
It's wonderful.
it's called Christmas in Paris, and I love drinking this tea at this time of the year. So if you've got, and I ordered this is stash tea, and so if you have a tea drinker, this is a wonderful tea for the season, and it says luxurious chocolatey flavor paired with lavender and cool mint. So it's a wonderful tea for the holidays. So this is a great last minute gift for
And
someone in your life that's a tea drinker.
and a splash of peppermint cream is really
Oh
good in
yeah,
it.
it's really
All
good.
these has real cream and milk and sugar. So there's no corn syrup, peppermint flavoring. And they had it last year and it was in a really small, skinny bottle. This year it's in the
Mhm.
big glug. So go get it before it's sold out. It's really great. Um, let's see. I'm gonna throw this one up here. I think everybody should have
Oh,
Tim Lanier's book, Selah Stuff. Am I
oh,
saying
that's
that
my
right, Selah?
husband, Sela.
Yes. And we actually have a link on our webpage to get this, but I'll put the link at the bottom here. But this is just a nice book. What would you call this? I don't. It's not a memoir. It's just like little
It's
stories.
kind of like
You describe it.
it's kind well when he wrote it. I would describe it to people of reading some of his personal journal entries, full of stories about being a pastor, about our family, about our kids. And so lots of stories, but he parallels them with a spiritual truth. And
Mm-hmm.
they're short, so they're great for devotional reading. And yeah, that's
It's a great little book.
yeah,
And we've never
it's
talked about it, and it's just so bizarre that we haven't. But I think we just forget about it.
yeah,
But
I don't
yeah,
think about it, but yeah,
yeah.
you can pick that up on Amazon.
What I think about when I think about it. I love that.
Yeah. And that's what Sela means, to stop and think about it. So you really do ponder when you read the stories. And Sela is written in a lot of Psalms in
Right,
the Bible. It'll say
right.
Sela, and what that means is stop, think about it. And so that's why it's called Sela stuff, because when you read the stories and you read the spiritual parallels with the stories, it causes you to sit there and think, man, yeah, I never thought about it that way. So, yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
great little devotional.
Oh, how fun. Got anything else? I got a stack of
Um,
stuff.
well, you need to go ahead and tell a few because I don't have that
Well,
much on my end.
the other thing, you guys, I was embarrassed of my very old and it looks like burnt,
That
kind of
is,
like
that looks like a very loved oven
well,
mitt.
but you know what? I only have one hand mitt, and then I think I have two square ones that you can,
Yeah,
pinch. But I thought, you know what? It's just one of these things like I don't, first of all, I don't think about them till I use them. So I never think about these when I'm at the store, right?
yeah,
You don't think about oven mitts. Um, but yeah, I could use more oven mitts. And I bet the lady in
yeah.
your life maybe could even use more oven mitts. I
And
thought about
they
that when we
they
were baking.
they make the silicone oven mitts now, and they're really nice. If you can find a set of
I don't like
silicone,
the way they feel.
you
They're
don't.
not, no, they don't do this enough.
That's true. But you can sure touch
I
some
have
hot
some in my
stuff and not be worried
camper.
about it.
Yeah, yeah. So, the other thing I have, and we had talked about this. Actually, Susie brought this up. The little cable needle. Let me tell
Oh
you a story
yeah.
about the cable needle. I found who has them, and I ordered one from. Okay, I have their name, and I'm gonna attach their information. Floop's Stitch Markers, and you can see how tiny that is. It was in some kind of envelope, and the tracking said, it was sitting in Kentucky, like, or somewhere random forever, and it never came. And then on my end it said it was delivered, but it wasn't. And on her end it said it was still in transit. And anyway, long story short, they sent me another one, and they said when you get this is the first one. Well, this one disappeared, like the tracking disappeared, so it was lost. And then she sent a second one, and then this one appeared, and she said, "Oh, it's come back up in the system." So she said, just send the other one back. So anyway, but I'm so glad because I need this for Danny's sweater because I'm starting the first cable row when I knit it, which I was going to do that today. So
Yeah,
I've been waiting
that's a
for this
one.
because you really sold me on this, Susie.
It's a
I love
wonderful
it.
little. It's a wonderful
Yeah.
little cable needle.
Yeah. So, even I don't know. I have the cable, the other things, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this much better. I can tell. I can tell. The other thing, I don't think it. First of all, because somebody asked me where I got this, and this was actually a gift, and it's got all my doodads, and this
Yeah.
is in either the cabinet to the right of me by my chair, or it's in my project bag. But I have, you can see what I'll have in there, right? Markers and
Yep.
whatnot. And this is the thing I dig out the most. I think we all need, especially if we knit, several of these for fixing your
Oh yeah.
mistakes.
You do.
Can
You
we
really
have
do.
too many of these? I don't think so. In fact, I could use one of these boxes and I would have that. I'd have a needle and I would have stitch markers in every project I
And
have.
little scissors. You got to have little scissors.
That's the next thing. I
And
have a
I'll
little
tell you, I
scissors.
don't know what it is about scissors, but they just disappear even off my lap. And I'm thinking,
They
I'm
run off
needing
with
it
the pens.
again. I know it's terrible. I think there needs to be a pair of scissors that knitters can get that hang around their neck, or we thread them through something and they hang on our neck.
Well,
Because
this is
it's like
why
I'm
our
forever looking for my scissors.
Well, this is why our mothers would hide the scissors because they,
Hmm
remember?
I
I mean,
hide
did
them.
your
I
mom
hide.
do that? We were
I
like, if you
will.
touch the scissors, I mean, it was like touching a gun or something in the house. You didn't touch her scissors.
Yeah, I
And,
hide scissors all the time. Oh, yeah, scissors
but,
or something.
and so these are actually, see, these are powder coated. Got these out in Utah at the yarn shop in Utah. And these are my favorite markers, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's no seam that can snag. Okay, they're not like a jump ring, but these are small, and I found this really cool set of bigger ones.
Yeah.
You see them?
Hmm
And so if you have larger needles, these don't fit. And these are my favorite. And I think these were like $11 and change. And I actually bought some for my daughter because she's going to be knitting. And they come in this really cute um, wooden case, which my cat found really fun. This is a great gift. I mean, can you have too many stitch markers? I don't
No,
think
you
so.
cannot.
And
And
so,
I love that they're colored.
yeah, and I have them all over my project. I do a thing. I don't know. You probably all have a sign, but the end of my row has a double red for stop.
Hmm
I always put two red for stop.
Yeah.
So that's how I always know that's the end of my row. But anyway, something. The other thing is, can you have too many of these?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I carry one in my purse because, you might be looking. I keep notes like how big certain spots are. I might be looking for, oh, there's a stitch marker in it. How convenient is that? I think it's from an E. Newton bracelet, Susie. No kidding. Um, but I keep one in my purse, but I like them in my project bag so you know where you are in your project, right?
You know what? A knitters that do multiple projects at one time, really, these are things that every project bag needs
That's
because
what I'm
it's too
saying. Yeah.
hard to go from one project bag to the next and,
Right.
get your stitch
Right.
markers and your scissors and your tape measure and your needles and
Especially if you pick it up to go somewhere and then all your gadgets are in your other
in your
bag.
other
That's
bag.
that's bad.
Yeah,
So
it's like
yeah.
every bag needs its own stuff or every project
Yep.
needs its own stuff. Yeah.
Another random thing. So if you have an Instapot, this is obviously your seal. But let me tell you a little story. And I don't know if I once told this story. Did I tell you the story about making my yogurt?
Mm-mm.
Well, to understand how funny this story is, when I used to have my milk cow, you used to have to make sure to take her, put her in a stall at night in the spring or the fall, because we have this really cool but not so cool thing that grows in our grass, and it's called wild onions. They grow
Yeah.
during the cool season, and if your cow eats the onions, their milk will have an onion flavor. So what they
Oh,
eat in,
wow.
yeah, just like humans. I mean, they say you can't
Wow.
eat certain things because your baby might not drink your milk,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
true.
one day I forgot to put her up in the pen, and I went out to milk her, and I'm milking her. She's a Jersey, and I'm milking her, and I literally, my eyes were burning. She smelled so strong, the milk of onions, and I thought, oh boy. So I thought to myself, okay, what can I do? I don't like throwing stuff away. I had over a gallon of milk. So I thought, what could hide the flavor of onions? So I thought, I'm going to make chocolate ice cream. I'm going to make chocolate ice cream. So I added all the stuff, and I added the cocoa, and I made the ice cream, and it tastes like chocolate covered onions.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work. So the other day I made yogurt, and I tend to make more savory foods, obviously. And my other seal, this is my second seal. Um, my seal made all of my yogurt smell like taco soup. So you can get a pack, and I'm going to put up an image, a 3-pack of these. You can designate one for sweet, one for savory, and there's a third one. Now, my other one is like red, like chili pepper, so I know it's my savory, and this is now my sweet.
So it comes in colors?
You can get colors. This is actually from my second Instapot that I just didn't violate yet.
Right. Oh,
However,
that's
if you don't
really
have,
neat.
yeah, in fact, if I knew how, I don't know how to work my new computer very well. I went from a PC to a Mac,
Mac.
but I would pull it up. But anyway, I'll show a picture. I'll insert it in the editing portion here. But yeah, so if the lady in your life has an Instapot, extra seals, and they actually come with the little plastic thing that goes over the vent, the
Uh-huh.
as well, the like a, I don't know what they call it. So that's another little thing. Like
That's
I
a
think,
really
oh,
neat.
that's so cool. I know
Yeah,
these
that's
things.
something that you
These
don't think about, you know. And
exactly.
you know, I'm a very practical person. I think there's some women that now if you knit, you'll be thrilled with any of the knitting, items that we've talked about because you use them and you need them. And but I think there's a lot of women that think for special days, or I mean they is, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they would rather get a piece of jewelry, or they would rather get cologne or
Hmm.
perfume, or they would rather get gift certificates to go get a massage, or and I love all those things, but I am so practical. It's like, please just give me something that I need. I mean, I one year my husband got me a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. I was so excited.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
always said, don't buy me flowers, honey, because they're going to die and I throw them in the trash can. And I just think about how much yarn I could have bought with those flowers that I threw in the
oh, I
trash
know.
can. I don't know. I'm just
It's
very
true.
practical, and I'm not ever if I need a pair of, shoes, then I'm thrilled to get that for Christmas. Or if I need, if I need seals for my Instapot and I get them, then I'm thrilled.
Well, but you know what's so
I,
funny? These are things you don't always think about
no, you don't
until
think
you need
about
them,
them
and
till
then you
you need
forget them
them.
again. Um, I told my daughter, so I percolate coffee in the morning, and then the afternoon for 1 cup, I do pour overs, right? And
Yeah.
back in the 80s, before pour over was even popular,
Hmm.
I had a plastic thing that sits on top with you put the funnel filter, and you just pour, and it makes 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I got rid of it years and years ago. And I've been using a small strainer sieve for my pour over because I just never think about getting one. And then my other thought process is, oh, I'm going to get to Marshall's one day and they're going to have one sitting there and I'll buy it. And I wanted ceramic. I'm trying to stay away from all the plastic. Um, and so one day my daughter was here and she said, what are you doing with that? And she looked at my strainer with the sieve in there with the grounds, and I said, well, that's how I do my pour over. She goes, now they're like coffee people, like I am, and but even more so. And she's, getting on her phone, and she's like, no, you need one of these. And so she brought me one, and she said, this is part of your Christmas present. I've used it every single day. See, it's just like one of those little things. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to. I don't know if I don't know what it is. Like, you
I
just don't want to
know.
spend the money on it. It just seems like an insignificant thing, but it's not because I could use it all the time. Um, Let me think. The other thing, oh, well, we this is another reason we love our E Newton bracelets. And if you don't know, Susie, talk about. Do you have all your bracelets on? Do you have a stack?
I do have a stack of E
Oh, you
Newton
got the
bracelets.
black ones. So
Yeah.
tell everybody why we love them so much.
So the E Newton bracelets, I love them, and one of the reasons that I love them is the price point. The cheapest one, or the most inexpensive one you can get, is around $16, and they're just the little beaded ones that look kind of like this. There's all different color ones, and they're
Mm-hmm.
made to stack. And most people, when they wear them, they don't take them off. They have their favorite ones and they leave them on. You can
Right.
shower with them, bathe. They don't really mess up. Now, I have had maybe one or two to break on me because
I had
I
one break, Susie, and it went all over my bathroom floor. I'm
I
still retrieving
know.
little bits. What are we gonna
Because
do with
really,
them?
well, so, the inside is like the little fishing wire. So the inside of your bracelets are not like
Well, what I
a
learned is
chain.
never slide more than one off at a time
Yeah, you
because
have to be really
that's
careful how
what
you take them
happens.
off.
Yeah.
But um, and a lot of people just never take them off, so they're not pulling them and stretching them. But they are just beautiful. You can get all different kinds to match
Mm-hmm.
different outfits, and they look nice, even though they're not like real expensive. Some of them could go up, into the 30 to
Yeah.
$50 range, but they just make a wonderful gift, and they're quick. E Newton has a website. You can order straight on the website. You can have it shipped straight to the person. I don't have the little bag, but they all come in a pretty little velvet bag. Do you have a bag
Mm-hmm.
to show?
I don't. I have the little stitch markers that have the tag on them in my kit though. Yeah, they have the name
So,
of the bracelet, and you also get a stitch marker out of the deal. There it
yeah,
is.
you do. You get a little stitch marker. But yeah, so they make great bracelets. You can go to E Newton's
Yeah.
website, and it's E, like a little lowercase e, and then Newton, Newton, E Newton. Yeah,
That
and
was
if you
just,
get if you
oh,
if
the
you get
choices.
if you get a friend, connected with them, and they like them, then it's an easy gift. It's an easy way to
Yeah,
give, just add to their
yeah,
stack. Yeah,
right,
so E
right.
Newton bracelets are a great gift to give for those
Oh,
people that don't want a vacuum cleaner
yeah.
for Christmas. Or a
Oh
pair of
my goodness.
scissors. They want something a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more personal. So E Newton bracelets are a great
I
option, and
mean, and it's a
price
beautiful
point started
gift.
about $16. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're really
yeah.
nice.
And you get them started, and then they can just continue on. And it's kind of
Hmm.
one of those gifts that you could get for any occasion because you really can't have
Exactly.
too many of them.
You
That's the
really
beautiful
can't.
thing. So, and last but not least, I think every woman, whether she knits, crochets, or does dishes, needs hand lotion.
Yeah.
And this hand lotion is so amazing. I literally go into a panic if I don't have it with me, especially if you're out and about and you're washing your hands with all that caustic hand soap out there that just seems to literally destroy your skin. I've talked about this before, but this is clinically proven to heal eczema and other things, and it's so famous it now has its own website. But if you're one of our shoppers with us, this is a great gift. You also have the lavender choice scent, but this is a great gift for the people in your life. So you can, oh,
Mhm.
and you know what? Brand new shoppers for the whole month, don't they get one of these free? If you're one of our shoppers, you can get it from the store. If you're not, a really nice um, tube of hand cream from somewhere else. But we can always use hand cream,
Yeah,
that's for
project
sure.
bags always need a good hand cream, that's for sure.
And project bags. Last but not least, we'll lead right into our advents. So a project bag is a great gift. You can't have too many of those either. So,
Well, and
and
and I do have a couple of other things, so we'll end up this gift thing real quick.
yeah,
But
go for it.
we talked about these needles a while ago, and if you need a wonderful set of interchangeable knitting needles at an
I need
amazing
some of those.
price, the
I need
link will be in our description. I am loving these, and
I
they're
am
under
too.
$30 for a whole set of interchangeable knitting needles. And
And they go
so
from what size to what size again?
they go from a US 2 up to a US 15.
Unheard of.
Yeah,
Unheard of.
and you've
Get a
got
complete
they've got
set.
great wires. The wires are great. The needles are great. The tips are nice and sharp. You cannot beat this price. And
And
so
we've
buy
talked
it for
about these
yourself if you
before.
don't have anybody to buy it for. I love
Right.
mine.
Exactly. And they're under 30 still.
Under $30 still.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
The
unbelievable.
wires are very Chiago-ish. They're
Yeah,
kind
they
of that
are.
coated cable.
Yeah,
Um, and they remind me a lot of Chiagos, except they're
yeah.
interchangeable. These are my Hayas, which I love very much, but there are some projects, these are so slippery that I don't like using these on. And I can use them on this because this is a DK and it's not overly lacy. But yeah, those needles, I have to say now, are my go-to needles, really.
I love them.
But there
I
are so
love
many
them.
projects I don't
I
have
mean,
enough to get. I don't have
I'm
enough
almost
wires left.
tempted to buy another set of
I
them. I
know.
mean,
I wish we could
it's
buy more wires. That
I
would be nice.
know. Yeah, that would
But
be
anyway, they're
nice. But
great.
I really am loving mine. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is this little wristlet to hang
I
put
love
a hank of
that.
yarn in. And of course, you know me, I had to get red. It's a little leather strap,
Where
and
did you get
you
that?
I got this when I was in visiting my family at the Salty Sheep in Swansboro, North Carolina. She had them there, and that's where I got them. But I will tell you that, um,
They have them on Etsy, I believe.
yeah, you can go. These actually came from
Where can you still?
Lemonwood. It's
Oh,
called
that's the actual
Lemonwood.
lemon wood. Those are the originals.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are
Oh, nice. You
lemonwood.love,
go.
Love. And
Okay.
so I just love it. And for sock knitters, this is a great thing to have because when you're knitting, you just got usually one hank of yarn and you're needing, to knit your socks.
And you
And
can
so
hang those. You can even get
you can,
there's
yeah, you can,
like a hanger.
yeah.
That's
So
neat.
they're absolutely wonderful. And so that was my last little ditty that
I
I
love
had
it. I
for
love it. So
gifting.
we will put the links in the description for all of these products. So as far as I know, all of them are still available. So anyway, so let's talk about our advents. First of all, I see your little garland advent back there. You've got some cones done.
Yes.
I love the one with the Christmas trees.
Yeah, this is from the Good Tidings Advent from Barrett Wool. And I was noticing on their website that you can still go and pre-order this Advent and work on it throughout the year of 2026 to have it available for Christmas next year. And because it's a lot of knitting, it's something that there's no way I'm going to have this finished. And so what I did is I just used the little red um, clothespins that came in the Advent, and I've hung my Advent up under with my fireplace, that I'll be opening up for the rest of the month. So that's my Advent hanging back there. And then I put the actual cones that I have finished. I'm on cone 4, so I am. There is no way I'm going to get it finished,
So
but they're precious.
do you know what is in each of them? Like, do you know if it's going to be a cone or a creature? A creature.
No, what's hanging is my Chelsea Yarns Advent.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
and I just pinned my cones that I've done from the Good Tidings Advent up there
Gotcha.
with it, because there's no way I'm gonna get all 24 of the cones. My goal was to get them done by the end of the month, but my life is not going to allow that for the next weeks of December. So anyway, I'm glad that I got those done in November so I can put them up there with my
Yeah.
Advent. But I love having my Advent, you know, clothes pinned up there at my fireplace. So
Well, there
that's
you
my Chelsea
go.
Yarn Advent.
I see. Okay.
And when we talked last episode, I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing for my Advent. There was a lot of different little ideas that I had rolling around. But what I finally decided to, I'm sorry, I've got to put my glasses on here. What I finally decided to do was a comfort knitting project, and the pattern is called My Reading Shawl. And I got it on Ravelry, and it's a garter stitch shawl, and it is easy to knit. It's very much comfort knitting, and it calls for 24 20-gram minis to do it. It also is tells you that you need 4 additional grams, 4 hanks of 100 grams additional. So you need an additional 4 hanks of yarn, but it calls for fingering,
For
and
a
you double
shawl?
it for a
Oh,
shawl. It's called a reading
yeah,
shawl.
you're
So it's
using.
like a shawl, but it's in blanket. It almost feels like you're wrapping up in a blanket,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. But you have to also have, like I said, 4 additional hanks of fingering weight yarn, 100 grams each, but you're knitting it doubled. You're doubling the yarn, so you're
So you're
doubling it
using
to
it up.
DK weight. So you're using up, and it goes fast. And so this is my additional hanks that I'm using with my Advent.
Okay.
So these are the colors that I'm using, and this is Expression Fiber Art uh, yarn that I'm going to be using with the Chelsea Yarn Advent. And so I've gotten a pretty good start on it. I'm only knitting on day 4, but when you look at the pattern, you're pinging from your Advents to the additional yarn to create, it's what's called the corresponding color. And the one I think that's on Ravelry, they use the same color, but I didn't have 4 hanks, and I went to Stash to pull those 4 hanks, so I just used colors I felt like were going to match and go pretty with the
Mm-hmm.
Advent. And so this is what I've done so far.
Oh, wow.
Um,
You've come along, Susie.
so
Wow.
this is the way that the shawl is looking. Of course, this is the top. So this was day 1 of the Chelsea Yarn
Okay.
Advent. And then you see my corresponding color. It didn't call to do that corresponding color there, but I wanted to separate the 220 grams. So this is day 2 right here. So I just
Okay.
separated it with 2 rows of garter stitch, and then I went back to the corresponding color, and then this is day 3 right here, and then it moves into day 4 right here. So this is day
Okay.
4. And then I've gone back to the corresponding color
Very
here.
pretty.
And I have opened day 5. So this is day 5.
How did you know which colors would look good with this? Would you
Well,
pick
because
good?
when she dyes, she keeps all her colors usually in the same color family. And I could tell that it was
Okay.
very tonal and muted colors. And
Right.
so that's why that I chose those 4 colors as my corresponding colors. And so that is day
Good.
5.
Is
what
there
I'll be going to
sparkle in
next.
that?
It is, and I love it. It's so much fun. Now, my
I love
corresponding
it.
yarn doesn't have sparkles, but it's okay. It's a combination of both. But
So
so
do
this
all her
is,
colors have sparkle then, I suppose?
well, when you order, you can order to have it that way or not. So I
Oh, is
ordered
that
it. She
so?
does, I think
Oh,
she does
nice.
both ways. Yeah. And
Oh,
so this
she's
is
so
day
fun.
5, and I'll be starting it real soon. This is day 6.
Very nice.
Isn't that pretty? So
It
that's
is.
day 6. And then day 7. Isn't that pretty? Look at that.
Oh, that looks, she has
Isn't
one
that
called something
beautiful?
berry. Yeah. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I'd really like a hat out of that. That's
it's
pretty.
beautiful. It's got all kinds of colors in there. So that's day 7. And then day 8 is here. And I am just loving her colors. Look at this. Isn't
Very
that
pretty.
beautiful?
It is. Very nice.
So
Love
yeah,
it.
I'm very pleased with the Advent. And then last week I'm doing a homespun house. I'm doing her 4 sock sets, which you open one up each Sunday of Advent. And I showed this last episode. This is her first sock set.
So
And
pretty.
then this is her second sock set.
Oh,
Aren't they
wow.
pretty?
Yes. Very.
She just has a beautiful eye for color. I just love her
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And so
Yeah.
these are the first 2 Sundays of Advent sock sets that I got. So yeah, that's my Advents that I'm doing. And I'm loving that my Advent project is mindless and it's garter stitch and it is an easy knit, and I'm loving the colors of the Advent. And my Advents have got to be simple as much as
Yeah.
possible. I've got to memorize the pattern. I just want to sit down and knit just for the joy of knitting, to watch a Christmas movie
Oh,
or
yeah.
talking with friends or family, carry it with me in a bag, not think about it. And so this has been a great Advent. And again, it's called My Reading Shawl, and you can find that on Ravelry.
So first I'm going to show you my second advent, the one I'm not knitting. So I'll always remember what side it starts with because
Of that
it has this
yellow.
bright yellow, which
Yeah.
in the anthology blanket, this will be the middle, like a big, like a sun, like a star or a sun. So that'll work out fine. So these are some very bright colors. To me, I was talking to Susie earlier. They remind me of sprinkled fiber. She does all of these really bright, fun colors. I could wear all these colors, but to be real frank, these would not go in my house. My
No.
house are more like the Advent I'm knitting. So and I don't I'm not being critical because it's just these are beautiful. These are beautiful, but they're not the colors of the inspiration piece. So I ordered it thinking they were going to be. Now they could really change too. So I could either add in some of the that kind of that turquoisey, that kind of greenish blue in there. I don't know. It's
You
like
also
Susie.
could add
I
in
might make a
we
Josie hood with it
yeah.
because
And
I
you
can
you
wear this. I just can't put it in.
Those colors are beautiful. I mean, like
Yeah,
if I was doing the reading shawl that we just talked about,
yeah.
I would take my corresponding color and make it a deep navy blue. It would be
And
beautiful
I
with all
like
of
that
those.
idea. And just like, last year's, those are great colors for me to wear. They're very they're similar, but it's not, my idea was I was going to make a blanket to throw
Right.
in my living room. So that probably is going to happen. So obviously it's day 1 over to day 8. So there we go.
Those are beautiful colors.
They are pretty, and these are a little bit softer, yeah. So we'll figure it out.
But
We'll
you're
figure it out as
right,
it goes.
it does look like that gum wrapper.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
gum
the juicy fruit,
ju or the what
days of
was it?
old, juicy fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another gift I forgot to mention. You guys, do you see how this looks like it's a knit bowl? This
Oh
is
yeah.
from IKEA. And I actually got this from a friend for a gift, and she knows I knit, and it's from IKEA. And that's the reason she got it, was because they kind of remind her of a knit
Aw.
stitch. But anyway, you can't hardly have too many bowls. This is what my advent's in. So I am finally done, as we had mentioned last week. I did day 25 in its entirety. So here we are. Looks
Oh,
really
that
good
looks
with the
good,
red.
Linda. Yeah, that's
So,
beautiful.
and then I am on my first day, and it's going very fast. So this is day 1. So this is going right here.
That's
Okay.
pretty.
I'm going to see if I can handle this. Um, do, 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 do. And then, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. I should just take a picture. So this is the next color, and it's going down. Do, 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 do. So, I did something. I did something with my advent, because Cashmere Coconuts watches our episodes, and they're going to know that I've changed them around. And I did. I got very worried because of the sweater I'm making. I just wanted to make sure it faded properly, and I'm so glad I did. So what we did, this is what I did first. I said to my husband, I want you to open them all up, lay them out, and put them back in the bags, and I'll be surprised. He said, "You're going to ask me to do that?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." Because I he understood what I was trying to achieve. So what we did is we opened them and we laid them down, and we put them in the order that the sweater is going to be. So, and then we put them back in the bags. Oops. And so and I have to consider sleeves as well. And I'm thinking about this, and I might have to even redo it. So I forget what's in there anyway. I just know at one point it actually is going to go like this. It ends up being all these sandy colors. Don't need that at my waist. So I put the sandies and the browns on the sleeves, but then I'm thinking, well, will that look really weird to have all this dark green and have these sandy? Yeah. So what I have to do, I think, and if anybody's got a hint or a tutorial or a thought, please leave it in the comments. I think what I'm going to do after I'm done with my yoke is I'm going to take each color, divide it in half. This is my thought. Use half for my sweater and take the other half and do that again in half for each sleeve. Otherwise, I'm going to have these really random colored sleeves, and they're not going to match. Yeah,
I'm no
I
help
know.
because
I
I
I
am
don't
not I
either.
don't do a lot of garment knitting, and so I
Well, and
don't
I've certainly never
my
done
brain
anything like
doesn't
this.
kind of go there.
And when I figure out, I'll let you know. But that's that. So that's my Advent situation, but it's coming along. I'm very happy with the way it looks, and I think the colors
It
are
looks
really pretty.
beautiful. The color is
And
beautiful. And your Advent had a full hank, and that's what you started with. You started with the full
Right.
hank, and then you're going to
Yes.
the 20-gram minis.
Right. We'll see.
We'll
We'll see what
see. I'm sure.
happens.
I'm sure if anybody can do it, you can.
Oh, well, thank you. You're so sweet. We'll
Uh,
see. But anyway, and that's that for our, I think that's it for our second week of Advent.
yes. And we're
Got
glad that
anything
you
else?
came. And no, not a thing. Hey, just subscribe and like and comment. We always need you
And
to do
join our
that.
Zoom on Saturday. We'd love to
Yes,
see
we're
you.
excited
And
about that.
I think we'll have a nice little group and it'll just be fun. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So, well, I guess that's about it for now then. And
Yeah.
I guess we will see you in another week.
Yes.
So stay warm and cozy and happy knitting or crocheting. See ya.
And Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Enjoy the season. Bye.
Bloopers. Hold on. I
Oh,
know. I smell
oh,
bad. I smell like ashes. Anyway, I'll get to it in a minute. I
what
got to get all my
happened?
equipment working. We're just going to do what we can do. Dear Lord, please be with us. Hope all this works. Okay. All right. You good?
I'm good, I think. I don't know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 36 and our second week of Advent. Today, we're going to discuss some last minute gifts for the people in your life that seemingly have everything. At least the women.
Hey, Linda, your mouth and what's coming out is not matched. Oh, Jesus, help us. It's ridiculous. Oh, Lord. Okay, go for it.
Hello,
Just
everybody.
go for
Welcome
it.
to episode. What?
You're frozen.
Let's just do it, and if it stinks, we just won't put it out. I don't know what else to say. I mean, perfect. Okay, the Lord is with us. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Woo-hoo. Ah. Oh, I'm getting hysterical.
I know.